We've been hearing about Fantastic Beasts 3 for quite some time and how much was riding on this box office because there was originally 5 movies in this franchise that were planned. Fantastic Beasts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But if this one doesn't make enough money, if 3 doesn't make enough, the franchise is probably going to be axed. They're probably going to stop it at 3. And unfortunately, for everybody at Warner Brothers that was involved in this, it's not looking good. Secrets of Dumbledore opens to $43 million in the US, lowest in the Harry Potter franchise. What now for the J.K. Rowling IP? And yes, it's true. $43 million in its opening weekend at the domestic box office. That is really, really bad, especially compared to the rest of the Fantastic Beasts movies, especially compared to the fact that this cost $200 million. Now, when we go back and we look at the history of these movies, you have the first Fantastic Beasts movie, which made $230 million in the box office. You have the other one that made $160 million at the box office. Well, opening weekend was 74 and 62 respectively. This is like a 33% drop-off. Like a 30% drop off for opening domestic weekend for this next Fantastic Beasts movie, which only means that you're likely to have that much of a drop down overall. This is not good. This is not sustainable. This is to the point where Fantastic Beasts, they're going to question whether it can hit $500 million worldwide. That's the profit. That's the money-making margin. And I guess we shouldn't really be surprised. This has nothing to do with the quote-unquote controversy surrounding J.K. Rowling. Even though that might be the loudest on Twitter, I don't think that had much effect on this, to be quite honest with you. That hasn't had any effect on how excited people are for the new Harry Potter Hogwarts video game that's coming out. The excitement for that is through the roof. However, what I do think has had a big impact on this are the people involved. Johnny Depp obviously was Grindelwald in the first two movies. Not so much, because as we've heard a lot with the legal battle between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, when Amber Heard slandered him very publicly, made up a bunch of stuff about him, they decided to fire him. They decided to fire him because he lost a lawsuit with a newspaper in the UK, which would have been extremely hard for him to win. Since he lost that lawsuit, they fired him. They got rid of him and they recast him with Mads Mikkelsen. I like Mads Mikkelsen. I do. I'm not going to sit here and say bad things because I like him as an actor. But at the same time, that turned a lot of people off because it's not the same character. And people love Johnny Depp. Not only that, but of course, you have someone else who we actually have video evidence that they put their hands on people in Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, who chokes women, who slams them to the ground, who wrestles microphones out of young women's hand, who bursts into people's rooms and says he's literally going to bury them. That Ezra Miller, that nutcase, is also starring in this Fantastic Beasts movie. And then, of course, they had this come out because they'd like to say how virtuous they are, how much they care about the LGBTQIA plus community, all of this stuff, to the point where we're going to put a line where Dumbledore talks about his gay love affair with Grindelwald. And it's so impactful that we're actually going to cut those 6 seconds where they talk about a gay relationship out of the entire movie so it can be released in other countries, because all we care about is money. There's a lot of other problems for this besides just, ooh, J.K. Rowling. And after that opening day that we saw, that Thursday preview, the Friday numbers, now that we're getting all of the data and we know it's at 43 million, Warner Brothers has to be panicking right now. They have to be panicking right now. When you look at Crimes of Grindelwald, this is the one that made $650 million worldwide. Obviously, a big part of that is in the international box office, so that will be a big player in how this Fantastic Beasts movie does. But this movie made about $150 million because, again, the break even was $500 million. If Fantastic Beasts 3 isn't hitting 550, 600 mil, somewhere around there, they're done. This franchise is done. The Fantastic Beasts franchise will be over. But this is what happens when you decide that you're going to keep people like Amber Heard, but you're going to fire Johnny Depp. You're going to keep people like Ezra Miller, but you're going to fire Johnny Depp. It's been a disaster, and, you know, they deserve everything that they get, to be quite honest with you. And it's sad because I like the Harry Potter franchise as a whole. Not a huge fan of what they're doing with Fantastic Beasts, but they've just shot themselves in the foot over and over and over again. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram?
check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.